Wow! I just finished my first take of this video and it was way offside. So this one's gonna be offside, but just know it's gonna be less offside than the one I just made. Alright, what's going on today? First up, yesterday I said there's always gonna be one person to contradict me when I talk about mortgage interest cost. And there you go! Despite the plethora of Trump supporters in my comments saying tariffs are not coming, tariffs are coming tomorrow. So I'm gonna talk about that. And guess what? It's not about the border. And because our best retaliation is going to be imposing suffering on the American people, let's just point out who it is they're supporting. Let's start here. I'm not trying to be rude, yada, yada, yada. It has nothing to do with mortgage rates. Every month we measure year-over-year inflation. That metric is made up of the changes in pricing in various categories. Number one, mortgage interest cost. Like, this is the problem with our society today. Nobody cares about actually looking into something to verify whether what I'm saying is true or false. They just want their beliefs validated. From the inflation report earlier this month, the main contributors to inflation. December of 2024. Top of the list, mortgage interest cost. Oh, whoa, this is awkward. I also said mortgage interest cost was number one for 2 years. Main contributors to inflation, December 2022. Mortgage interest cost. Oh, it just gets more and more awkward. There are many reasons why inflation occurs. And how we measure it is the change in the consumer price index. And right now, the number one thing changing the consumer price index is mortgage interest cost. All right, tariffs are coming and it's going to cause problems for Canadians. So just, hold on to that for a moment. They are inflicting pain upon us. So it's time for Doug Ford to step up and inflict pain upon them. None of this would be happening if we had strong government and strong borders. Yeah, that's how I hear them in my head. First up, are people crossing the border from Canada into the U.S.? Yes, and there's people coming from the U.S. into Canada. Is it an enormous amount? No. There's full-on documentaries about the migrant train from South America to the southern border of the U.S. Here there's a video of like 5 dudes in a car. It's not the same thing. And then there's comments like, oh my god, the drug trade is so bad. I used to do blah, 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 blah. It's not that bad. There's official numbers from the Drug Enforcement Agency in the United States, and last year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection intercepted 19 kilograms of fentanyl at the northern border and 9,600 at the Mexican border. I know people are bad at math, but that's an enormous difference. Like, in terms of this problem, that's a problem, that's fuck all. So why is he doing it? Because he wants to get rid of taxes on rich people. He's said it many times. He just said it recently. Trump wants to eliminate income taxes. Oh, that sounds like a fantastic idea. No, it's not. What he wants to do is he wants to eliminate income taxes and replace them with consumption taxes like tariffs on foreign products. We all hate the carbon tax, right? So imagine this. Imagine if we had a bigger carbon tax so that we could give Galen Weston a bigger tax break. Does that sound like a good idea to you now? Does this sound like something you should be supporting? So, since this border narrative is all bullshit, we can't really do anything to fix it. We could spend a ton of money on it, it ain't gonna fix the problem, cause that ain't the problem. And as we Canadians know, maybe it's the cold weather, maybe it's the lack of sunlight, we can get really mean if you piss us off. Geneva Convention. And the vast majority of Canadians support retaliation. So we need to retaliate and inflict the maximum amount of pain. So yeah, shutting down power in the middle of winter is the perfect plan. Oh my god, AJ, I can't believe you said that. People will suffer. Yeah, unfortunately, people will suffer. People are going to suffer here in Canada. The only way to end this sooner rather than later is to make people in the US suffer. Don't feel too bad. They're supporting fascists. There you go again, AJ. Exaggerating. He was just throwing his heart out to the crowd. Well, Mr. Musk recently spoke to the AFD, which is today's version of those Yahtzees, and said they should move beyond past guilt ahead of the Holocaust Remembrance Day. That's right, earlier this week, it was the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. Let's move past this. Let's not get caught up in who sent whom to the gas chambers. And we get caught up in these actions as if they're abnormal. Shit, I threw a meat pie in the oven last night. Same. One is a war crime, one is totally acceptable. I don't understand the difference. I don't understand why you call them fascists or bigots or racists. Doesn't make any sense. There's no evidence of that. from the Defense Intelligence Agency from earlier this week. The Defense Intelligence Agency will pause all activities regarding these events, which of course involve black people, women, and gay people. They're still going to commemorate stuff about white men. And of course, there's the air collision that just happened in Washington that Mr. Trump would like to blame on DEI. You know, they're not very intelligent people. So let's see if Doug Ford can put his money where his mouth is. Is he going to shut down the power? He should. Because the only way to deal with a bully is to bully them back.